Every 14 minutes, a man takes his own life in the United States. Globally, men die by suicide 4 times more often than women, and yet we don't talk about it. Men suffer in silence. Men break quietly. Men carry pain until it kills them. And to make it worse, when men are abused physically, emotionally, mentally, they often stay silent as well. Why? Because no one will believe them, and because there's no one there to listen. This is the weight of silence. And today, we're going to talk about it. Welcome to the bench session, where we unload the weight one session at a time. I'm Juan, and this is a space for real talk. The kind that doesn't always make it into group chats or gym conversations. There's no guests, there's no filters, it's just me, a mic, and my truth. Let's get into it, shall we? Welcome back, everybody. We are in September. September is Suicide Awareness Month. And today we're going to dig a little bit deeper into this subject. I know it's hard, I know it's uncomfortable, but you know what? It's necessary. Why men are more likely to end their lives and why so many of them never speak about what they're going through. We're also going to confront something rarely ever acknowledged, and that's the fact that not all abuse is man to woman. A good number of men experience emotional and physical abuse from women, but most of them never ever talk about it. And that silence, it's costing lives. The stark numbers on men's suicide. Globally, men account for about 75 to 80% of all suicides. In the U.S., men die by suicide 4 times more often than women, according to the CDC in 2023. Men tend to use more fatal means, which makes attempts more likely to succeed. They don't just take sleeping pills and try to never wake up. What are the root causes of these things? There's a lot of stigma around asking for help because the expectation is that we're supposed to be the strong ones. And we have, most of us, some of us, a good majority of people have untreated depression or some untreated trauma in their lives. But society tells men to be providers, to be protectors, to be unbreakable. And when they feel like they can't measure up to those standards and when the pain gets too heavy, instead of reaching out, they go quiet. And that's the problem. That is one of the warning signs. Why do we stay quiet? Why is there such a stigma around being vulnerable? Why does vulnerability equal weakness in a lot of our minds? We all have a fear of being judged, ridiculed, or flat out dismissed. We keep hearing that we need to open up and discuss our feelings, but more than half the time when we try to open up and discuss our feelings, they are dismissed as, oh, that's a little thing. That's nothing to be worried about. But it's something that is affecting us greatly. Just because it doesn't affect you as great doesn't mean that it's not a big deal for us. We also have generational programming. As we've discussed in previous episodes, real men are meant to handle everything alone. They're not meant to ask for help. They don't reach out. They don't talk about what's going on. Men don't talk about anything that they're going through because that's what we're taught as children. And when that silence becomes our default methods, the breaking point often comes out of nowhere. But it wasn't out of nowhere. It took a lot of years for it to build up to the point where a man decides to commit suicide and end his suffering. You can call it selfish. You can call it the easy way out. You can call it whatever you want. But in that moment, that man couldn't handle what he was going through. And he did the only thing that he thought he could do in order to make the pain stop, to make the voices stop, to have everything just go quiet. But there's also another abuse that we don't talk about. About 1 in 5 men report experiencing domestic abuse in their lifetime. In the US, 1 in 10 men experience spousal abuse, whether that's from their wife or girlfriend at the time. But these types of abuse, they're not always all physical. They're emotional manipulation, they're verbal degradation, and yes, there are physical aggressions. There are women out there who will beat men. And the man doesn't have to be 80 pounds skinny. Some men are 200-pound bodybuilders who are being abused. And they don't see a way out of the situation. They don't see anybody there that's willing to help. It's just them. Imagine getting hit, manipulated, or degraded every day of your life, and knowing if you ever told anyone, they would either just say, man the fuck up, or accuse you of being the abuser, and you just suddenly want the attention. That's the reality a lot of men face, and that silence adds another layer to the weight that they're already carrying. It's insane how our society doesn't fully acknowledge the fact that spousal abuse is not just physical, it's mental, it's emotional. It could be just slight remarks from one person to the other, all kinds of different things that just affect us in different ways. And we as men do not talk about it because who's going to listen? Who's going to not tell us that our feelings are small and dismiss the issues that we're trying to bring up? We feel that no matter who we talk to, that's always going to be the case. And just like when a woman's being abused, there's shelters, there's hotlines, there's all kinds of options. But for men, they don't see these options mainly because they fear being ridiculed. They fear being weak or looking like a victim, which they're not. They're worried, they're scared, they have no idea how to move on, and they're afraid of ending that relationship for retaliation purposes, or something worse will happen to them if they try to walk away. All these things affect our mind and affect everything that we go through. And if we're one of the lucky people that finds a way out of that relationship, that trauma gets carried on into every aspect of our lives, and it gets carried on into our future relationships, unless it's something we talk about and try to work our way through it. Men out there, if you guys are listening, talk to someone. There's hotlines. Reach out. You will not be ridiculed. You will not be dismissed. If you want, just comment on this podcast. I will give you the information that I can find for you. I won't ridicule you. I am here as a voice for all of us. I am here for every single man here. Even women that listen to this podcast, if you guys are in fear for your life or being abused or any kind of stuff like that going on, reach out. There's options. So don't get caught up in this whole, no one's going to believe me, no one's going to do anything for me. So reach out. Don't stay silent. Men, don't stay silent and spiral out of control. Part of why we spiral is because we replay our mistakes and our failures in our brain over and over and over again. And we refuse to forgive ourselves, and we carry on that guilt. But, forgiveness isn't letting yourself off easy. We have this whole definition of forgiveness in our brain, and it's not correct. Forgiveness is giving up the hope that the past could be any different. It's not saying what happened was okay. It's just simply saying it happened. I can't change it, but what I can do is I can decide what happens next. When you start shifting your mind from punishment to acceptance, that is the difference between breaking down and moving forward. Learn to forgive yourself for whatever it is you're going through right now. If you're in an abusive relationship, chances are you are not the cause of it. Find a way to move past it. End the relationship, move on, do whatever it is you need to do. Text a friend, text a buddy, text a suicide hotline. Someone's always going to be there for you. If you're listening to this podcast, like I said, just comment. I will reach out. I'll be that person for you. Just don't let it consume you, and don't let the pain get too much for you to carry where you decide to unalive yourself, because that's the last thing we want. Stop trying to be the tough guy. Be you. Whatever version that is, whatever that means to you. Break the silence. Ask for help. We're all here. No one's going to ridicule you. No one's going to dismiss you. I have seen so many news articles of men committing suicide and different methods that they've used, and they've all been successful. Don't let this be one of you. Don't be a statistic. Speak up. Stand up for yourself. Speak up. If there's anything you want to take away from this podcast today, or this episode today, silence doesn't make you strong. It makes you invisible. And invisible men suffer until they disappear. As I said, if you're struggling, if you've been abused, if you feel like you can't carry on anymore, I promise you, talking to someone won't kill you, but the silence will. And if nobody else has told you this, you're not alone, and your life is worth more than the weight you're carrying. We're here for you, brother. Thanks for sitting with me today. If this hit hard, I need you to do one thing for me. Reach out. Reach out to a friend, a brother, a counselor, a hotline. Don't fight this alone. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Same bench, same real talk. Stay grounded. Stay real.